Published 1619 EDT, the 14th of August 2017. Updated 1719 EDT, the 14th of August 2017. President Trump's eternally blonde bouffant was looking a bit more like a Grey Garden on Monday as he returned to Washington, D.C. The commander-in-chief was photographed making his way across the South Lawn from Marine One to the Oval Office early in the morning, with a large patch of white roots clearly visible in his champagne-colored coif. There was no change, however, to the styling of President Trump's hair, who combed over his dome with some of the lengthy locks on the side of his head, then folded up and tucked away the rest with an origami-like precision that gave them the appearance of a paper crane. White Walker. President Trump was seen with some lengthy white roots on Monday morning above White House and hair. The visible white roots were close to 2 inches long, suggesting the president, pictured left on Monday and right in December, has not dyed his hair in some time. The emergence of these colorless tresses and their assault on the very specific hue of Trump Tower gold that is favored by the Donald comes on the same day he had to cancel plans to visit his New York City home for the first time since his inauguration and instead return early to the White House. It has now been 17 years since President Trump first went blonde at the turn of the century, and he has gone lighter and lighter recently as his skin gets darker and darker. It is a no-fuss process too, with the First Lady reportedly in charge of freshening up and coloring her husband's locks. In a 2004 interview with Playboy, President Trump stated that only Melania trims his hair, a claim that a former hairdresser who worked with the businessman was quick to confirm in an interview last year. He does it himself. It is real and it is his hair. He doesn't have plugs, Amy Lash told the Mirror. When I looked at the back of his hair I could tell it was not a hairdresser cutting it. It was scary. It was just cut in a straight line. Champagne chignon. President Trump's hair looked more blonde from the front left, with the obvious roots hidden. However, the color is a far cry from the hue he showed off in 2014. Right hair color today, gone tomorrow. Trump's roots today left were far more visible than they were back in August 2015. Right, carefully crafted. He used some of his long locks to cover the dome of his head and folded the rest up like an origami crane on the side of his head to hide his lengthy roots. Lash had worked with President Trump in the early and mid-2000s on the set of The Apprentice. The color was so inconsistent. It was not done correctly. They just colored the top and did not color what was underneath properly, added Lash. It was someone in his inner circle who was cutting and coloring his hair. His wife or maybe his daughter. That task was likely not required of previous wives Ivana Trump and Marla Maples, who were married to Trump during his brunette years. President Trump previously stated that he would likely let his hair go if he was elected, due to the demanding nature of the position. In one of his first speeches after announcing his candidacy back in June 2015, he said that he would maintain his hair differently if he made it to the Oval Office while fielding questions from an audience in Iowa. I would probably comb my hair back. Why? Because this thing is too hard to comb, said the then long shot in the 17-candidate Republican primary. I would have time, because if I were in the White House, it'd be working my A off.